And my grandfather came here from Jamaica, believe it or not, a banana boat, and he ended up in Chestertown, and my grandmother is Haitian. So they all came down from the waterfront. And that's where the majority of African Americans who was native, how we got to Chestertown. Because, we were brought here to help build this community.
Yeah.
And that's how I got here, and I love this community. First, growing up in Chestertown, my grandfather and my grandmother and my family were community organizers. And my grandfather was the president of the well-known G.A.R. down on Queen Street, and 21 other leaders in my community. I lived with my grandfather since I was 6 years old. So I saw all these people come to the house, and I didn't know what was going on. We had a barbershop also as a landmark on Queen Street. So my family always was part of the community and building community and organized community in church or in social projects. So I saw them, and that's how I got involved in this whole thing. So they introduced me to the community and the business sector of Chestertown early in my life. So getting older and moving away, I learned some things, and I came back home, and I said, wow, I can use this in Chestertown. And some of the principles that I'm using today in the community as a community organizer, they are working the time-tested principles that my grandfather and my mom left behind that they have files. And I put the I's and T's together and what I've learned. And it's been successful in this community since I came back home 10 years ago.
And I'm going to be straight and honest with your listening audience as well as you. There's a divide. And I've said it before. Yes, it is. People are frustrated. People want jobs. People not getting served. A lady up Calvert Street, she's up there trying to hold on, tell people, do the right thing, don't do this by herself. And I said, well, you're doing a great thing like a leader, civic leader. Is there anyone up here that can help you? She said, nobody's here. People are scared. And she said, the police department, we called them. I cried, man. That's why I'm running, man, because it's unbalanced. Mm-hmm. And she said, they come, they ride around, and the kids, don't even do anything. And they need jobs.
Over-policed?
Under-policed.
Under-policed.
Yeah. And, again, this candidacy, my eyes said, you asked the question why I'm mayor, my eyes says had to look at both sides of the community. I'm on both sides. I'm African-American side of the community. I'm in 3 different board of directors on the main white community. I had to play this like a peacemaker. Mm-hmm. This candidacy is a peacemaker. I don't think you need a mayor. You need a mayor that has the capabilities to lead. But that person had to draw people together and say, listen, we got to work together. We can't do it without you. And yes, to answer your question, there is frustration. Some people don't even vote. And because this candidacy has risen up 307 years, now people are getting a little excited about it. And I'm so grateful that now the excitement's coming back. So yes, there is a resentment, not in the African American community, but there's in the Hispanic community. I talked to a store owner out of Flatland who's trying to get a light, because someone got hit last year, a little girl. Mm-hmm. And a friend called me and said, Armond, go out there, talk to the owner because they want to talk to somebody who's running for mayor. Mm-hmm. And I went out there and talked to them. And she said, we've been trying to get a light out here for a year. No one has went down to the town. They don't listen to us. And she said that little bio thing, you guys, that intersection, you guys going to put something down there like the gateway? She said, put a stoplight down there. She said, the other thing, I don't think it will work. Mm-hmm. So it's not only African Americans, it's a whole multicultural scene like it's not being serviced. But there's a few that are getting serviced. That's what they kind of tired of. I know the police department has a tough job, a very tough job. I mean, let's break it down. The drug area is, people don't have jobs. So how are you going to tell a young kid who has a baby, a young man or young woman, say, hey, I can't get work. Mm-hmm. My baby's crying, need food. Mm-hmm. And how can I feed them? And they have to go into other illegal activities to survive. There's a subculture that's here. Senior citizens live in that area. They have to pay the consequences for that. And I sit on some people's porch and say, look, you see that? That's a deal. They don't have to live like that. This is America. Everyone should have the privilege to be served together. It's not just one side only. So you have that side over there I've been home 10 years. And I've seen some people out of work at least 10 years. So it's underserved. I know, the police department doesn't really intend to have it happen that way, but I'm just putting it out there to them that this is what some of the residents are saying. They don't tell everybody this, but I'm representing those people too, as well as Hispanics or Asians. So that's what I represent, everybody. Bring any jobs here. As I mentioned, you got to educate the people, number one. Also, you got to get the leaders together. You can say, I'm going to bring jobs. That's the 10-point agenda that any candidate will say to run for office. I'm going to bring jobs, I'm going to do this. You got to get the people together. The community is in a divide. And it's a social change. How it happened, a social change happened when the shift came in Chestertown. As being a native, I know this. A shift came, meaning a shift came from Water Street, Queen Street, Cannon Street, Calvert Street. And what I mean the shift is that my culture shifted out. Changes happen all the time. So now the shift came, and the local people, that's another one. The local people are here. So wait a minute, you forgot about us. We're here too. And they see this change. No one explained it to them. The leaders didn't explain it to the different communities. So this gap came over the years. I talked to local people who says, I know people that I tried to get here in Chestertown, and for some reason they had a glitch. As mayor, I would just simply common sense strategies, common sense legislation. Go down the middle. There's a lot of companies that are thriving in this economy right now. Who they are, the green companies, solar companies, even windmill companies. Windmill is over there in Chesapeake College, giving Chesapeake College all the energy. Those companies can outsource their businesses. I was in a gathering with a guy running for Congress, and he said a lot of corporations have found a way to move their monies somewhere else. Those companies had to depend on the location that they're in. Let's get some of those jobs. Pick up the phone, Mr. CEO, and the diversity group, we had a few CEOs there. They're human beings just like we are. Come to Chestertown. Let's see, let us show you what we have here. You can do that even with stores. Sometimes stores will come here, they want to see their future money. I'm a businessman too. I've been in business for 20 years, over 20 years. Went to school for business marketing. You just pick the phone up, invite people in, put them up to the Holiday Inn, and ride around town. Let's do lunch. That's what we did in Los Angeles. And we'll work something out. Now, and I know there's businesses here in Chestertown, like Dixon, Washington College, and the hospital. These guys are here because they want to be here. They're doing a great job. They're great economical output, helping the community, helping people, employ them. They're doing a great job. But when Camel Soup went out, it kind of knocked out a lot of the revenue from the town, also knocked out a lot of work for people here. Historically, that had to be up and running. So there's room for maybe one more. That's why I like to talk to all the business leaders and say, what can we do to make this work? I'll work with anybody who has a great idea and how to, spare growth. So it's very simple. If you're a businessman, I'm a businessman, and I know how to negotiate. I know the art of the deal. You might not get everything you want, then you make it everything you want. It's more than just say, I'm going to bring them here. You got to be a business master in a way as far as negotiating. And I'm saying that because some people, you got to know where to hold them. You got to know when to fold them in a business deal. And coming from, from Los Angeles, I learned how to do that. I'm on the Garfield board, Garfield Center board. My opinion, coming from LA, seeing all the big, signs and everything, use out
that
there.
would probably just scare a lot of people.
Yeah, sign, they went for the sign out there, and then you go across Centerville Fire Department has a digital sign, and it's coming our way.
Yeah.
It says, I think fear, I think Roosevelt said it, what we fear is fear of self. And this is, the old ideals are kind of had run its course. And 50 years from now, or 20 years from now, somebody can say, put a sign here. Well, look at all the signs out here for the election. I mean, what's that about, So the point I'm trying to say, I'm saying that it's okay, but the point I'm trying to say to you is that a sign, it wouldn't hurt nobody. I agree with a sign. I know some people say, well, I don't want a sign. Well, that's okay. The horse and buggy was like that. But we're growing. You have to continue to grow. You can't just stop. A few people can't stop the majority.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here. This is America. This is what democracy is all about. And we live in a community so we can have a beloved community, so someone can wake up and say, listen, I did this, or I got a sign. Matter of fact, it was a lawyer in the breakfast. He wanted a sign too in the breakfast group. I said, if you got a sign and you made that contribution to the community, you're going to make other contributions to the community. So you don't know what could come behind that. Positively, I'm talking about. I want to let people know that I've been doing this since I'm 15 years of age. My life work is bringing the community together. I am an outreach minister, so I do believe in values. And I also believe that people in a community want those values and those standards here.